kind of like the shit that would happen. I would take the under, and the score would be 44-2 or some bullshit like that.
I was just going to ask, Joe, the big pushing point for me is, are you playing against any Washington football team members this week? Because I guarantee they're getting in the end zone in garbage time. So that would persuade me one way or the other.
Yeah, I think I play against. I think some guy's starting Trey Quinn on me. So
I'm sure that'll go down. So Bryce, tell us why you think Baltimore is going to win this week.
I mean, you guys pretty much laid it out, man. We got our asses whooped. Monday Night Football. I lost my damn bet, and I got to wear a Chiefs hat for my Facebook profile for the next couple of days until Monday. Man. Yeah. Greg Roman called a terrible game. Wink Martindale called a terrible game on defense as the coordinators. John Harbaugh should have took control of that situation. And like you said, we don't make the same mistake twice. We're going to get back to our offense. We're going to run the ball. Gus Edwards, if you have any fantasy players out there, start Gus Edwards. Mark Ingram is done. He is cooked. It's over for him. Like, he doesn't need to be touching the ball no more. J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. And Lamar bounces back as well. Big game. Blowout win, 40-10. Fuck it. I'm not even just fuck it. And real quick, I just from aside from this game, I heard a lot of people talking shit about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. And I get it, it was a Monday night stinker, but best believe we would literally dub all of your teams. Like, everybody that's talking shit about the Ravens, we'll literally blow out all of your teams, and we probably have already. So let's settle down on the shit talking. Let's move forward on that one there. But yeah,
they were giving him shit when he was putting up MVP numbers last year too. Though.
Exactly.
It's kind of like what Allen's dealing with now too.
Like, give credit where credit is due. Like, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Yeah, moving on. That's it. 40-10. That's my prediction.
Right.
But yeah, I'm with you guys as well. This game could be a little funky as well. It might turn out to be a fucking field goal game for all we know. But
yeah, I just don't touch a line that big, man. 14 points. That's tough.
That's tough for the bookie. That one's for the bookie.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one. All right, moving on, man. New Orleans versus the Detroit Lions. Right now, the New Orleans Saints are favorite, road favorites, -3.5. Over under is 54. You mind if I take this one first?
Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, I'm almost like betting against Drew Brees every week at this point. Like,
bad? It's that bad?
It's that bad for me. Like, when I watch his games, I've watched 3 straight Saints games in a row, and I watched 3 straight offense, like, just can't move the ball down the field unless it's to Alvin Kamara. He just picks up a ton of yardage after the catch. And he can't throw the ball more than 15 yards down the field. Matt Stafford looks really good right now, and now that Galladay is back, that has transformed that offense. Adrian Peterson, this dude just doesn't stop. Like, he did a spin move, and I'm like, this is not 2007 AP. Like, what the fuck is going on? It's 2020.
Gonna break a hip.
He's 50, right?
Basically.
Okay. Just making sure.
It's ridiculous, like, what this dude is. But I kind of like Detroit in this game. I like that they're getting half a point right now. Like, I think it should be a field goal, but I like the fact that they're getting 3.5. And I can see them, like, I can see the Saints winning this game, and then Detroit comes down and just gets like a garbage time touchdown or something like that, and kind of put them the win with the points. I think New Orleans will win the game. So give me New Orleans. I'll say they score 24 points, and give me Detroit at about 21, 24-21.
So you think low scoring?
Low scoring. I think this takes it takes a long time for New Orleans to score. And I think I'll take the under in this one.
Okay. All right. You mind if I go, Ed?
Go for it.
All right. I don't know. Sometimes, like, I read things and there's all this rational thinking, and sometimes you just go with your gut. You put everything you read and all the research and all the things that you should be doing out the window, and you say, fuck it, like you've said a couple times already. And you say, there's no way that New Orleans is going to start the year 1-3 with one of those losses being with Detroit. And I just think that's one of those games today, or not today, obviously Sunday. I don't see New Orleans losing to Detroit. I'm actually going to go the complete opposite of you, Bryce, not to ruffle any feathers here, but I think New Orleans wins by they're going to cover that 3.5 for sure. Well, not for sure. I mean, that's what I think. I'm actually going to take the over in this game. I think it's indoor game. New Orleans is used to playing indoors. Detroit's indoors. New Orleans' pass defense is terrible, so I could still see Stafford and, as you said, Galladay really lighten it up. I'm thinking this game is going to be like a 30-27, 35, 35-32 sort of game. So with the over-under being 54, I'm pretty confident that actually hits the over on that one. Kamara's looked great. I'm actually surprised on how, and I think they're going to try to fix this, how little involved Emmanuel Sanders has been. I think in terms of, when you look at disappointments in the NFL so far this year, Emmanuel Sanders has had this kind of like unspoken, like just underrated career. He's won Super Bowls with teams. He's helped teams get to Super Bowls. He's been that guy that gets you, in Denver, when he was in Denver, he did over 100 catches and 1,200 yards. He was this guy that just kind of flew under the radar all the time. But, he's getting older. He was with San Francisco last year, went to the Super Bowl, and New Orleans brings him in. And you think, okay, this is going to be a great compliment. They've never had that number 2 wide receiver that's stepped up. Michael Thomas had, I think the stat was crazy. He had like 120 more catches than anybody else on that team or something, or the next wide receiver on that team. It was insane. And they bring Emmanuel Sanders in, you think, okay, this is going to go well for them. And I don't know, with Michael Thomas being out, if that has a lot to do with it, but they've just not gone to Sanders as much as I thought they have. Now, I still know that Michael Thomas, he has been officially ruled out for this game. They thought that he might be back for it, but he's been ruled out. I still am confident with the over in this one. I think they'll get Jared Cook left the game. Is he still playing? Do you know?
Let me check.
They got a young tight end, Troutman. I really like.
Jared Cook is listed as out.
Okay, so he is out. They got a couple. They got Hill, I think, is their backup tight end, and then Troutman, the rookie from Dayton, who's a really solid. They've been raving about him in camp. Don't be surprised to see him make a play or two. So I still feel confident with lots of points scored there. With, I don't know, New Orleans' pass defense has been terrible, so I can see Stafford carving them up.
And they're going to be without Janoris Jenkins and Marshawn Lattimore. I'd like to change my pick as well. I'm going to roll with Detroit in the over, and give me a score of like 35-30.
Yeah,
you just changed on the spot, huh?
Yeah.
No, that was a very persuasive argument.
Yo, Joe was dropping knowledge, and then I looked at the injury report. I'm like, oh yeah. I like that.
Co-host of the year just changed everything. That was excellent. So what I'll say about this game is that when I looked at the entire lineup of games, the entire state of affairs for the entire day, this game was probably the hardest for me to call, just because you never know this year which Saints team you're going to get. You never know which Detroit Lions team that you're going to get. The one thing that I'll say about Emmanuel Sanders, and watching a couple of the Saints games this year, I watched 2 of them, is that I don't think that Drew Brees can push the ball down the field as much anymore. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a ton of dump offs to Alvin Kamara. You're going to see Troutman, like Joe said, I think take over the lead tight end role for an injured Cook. And with Michael Thomas being out, I don't know whether that falls to a guy like Harris or somebody else that they can dump the ball off to on shorter routes. But he's had trouble pushing down the ball down the field. Emmanuel Sanders did get a little bit involved last week. I think he had like 4 catches and a touchdown. But I like the under in this game. I don't know why. I just feel like Detroit might struggle. I think New Orleans struggles offensively still. I don't know. The game's very tough for me to call. 54 seems like an awful lot of points. So I'm going to go with something like 27-24. And I'm actually, believe it or not, going with Detroit here. I think the Saints can go 1-3. I think we're going to see it's a different Saints team. They're banged up. Drew Brees isn't what he was, and I don't think Kamara can fully carry the load all by himself. So we're going with Detroit with the win at home.
Drew Brees is bad, bro. Like, he's bad. He's not good no more. I think people are afraid to say it because, like, we've known Drew Brees to be so great. And you go look at his stats, and he's putting up decent numbers, but he's not good. Like, I'm like, ew. When I watch him play and throw the ball, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, if you watch the games, like you'll go and you'll look at the stat sheet, and it'll have, like, classic Drew Brees numbers: 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 70% completion percentage. But it's not he's not pushing it down the field at all. He's dumping off to Kamara and watching him do work. It kind of reminds me, honestly, the closest thing that I can recall that reminds me of what Drew Brees looks like this year is when Cam Newton was playing hurt last year, and he was like in there trying to like tough it out, but he couldn't really push the ball down the field. That's what this reminds me of. And I think the Saints lose, to be honest with you. I think they lose by a little bit, let alone giving Detroit points. So
totally random and having nothing to do with the line or the over-under. Is Detroit are they not going to use DeAndre Swift at all? Like, I don't get it. They used him a ton week 1, then he dropped that, game-winning touchdown.
He's in the doghouse.
For 3, you think he's in the doghouse for 2 straight? He's hardly touching the ball.
He's in the Bill Belichick doghouse, and Belichick is even the coach of the team. Patricia called Belichick. He was like, Belichick was like, yeah, you just got to bench that guy. He dropped a touchdown. You can't play him no more.
At this point, can Matt Patricia afford to have anybody in his doghouse that's like a decent football player, though?
Plus he has an alien in his backfield running the football right now, too. So,
yeah.
No, I'll get you, though. I feel you on that one. You think we would get a little bit more work?
And even Kerryon Johnson's getting – they're literally giving the ball to Adrian Peterson 85% of the time.
I fucking love it.
Which is insane to me. I love it, too.
I fucking love it.
I do.
Shout out to AP, man. Golly. He got a bunch of kids, too, don't he? Like, his kids are going to be in the NFL soon.
They're disciplined. I know that.
Yeah, we know that for a fact.
very well disciplined bunch, those Peterson boys.
All right, boys, let's move on to the next game on the slate here. We got the LA Chargers traveling to the East Coast to take on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right now, the Buccaneers are 2-1. Brady looking a little bit better. They are the favorites, -7, over under 43. Mr. Reuter, I'm going to you for this one, sir. What are you thinking?
I think Tampa Bay keeps it rolling. I'm going to keep this brief just because I think Tampa Bay does their thing at home. Brady seems like he's picked up a rhythm with his receivers now. Mike Evans catches 1 or 2 passes a game, of course, all of them for touchdowns. I think he's got something like 7 receptions on the year. 4 of them are touchdowns. And I think still to this day, he's only got like 12 yards receiving because all he does is catch 1-yard touchdowns. He's got the oddest stat line for sure amongst any NFL wide receiver this year. I don't think the Chargers have enough up front. Tom Brady's biggest weakness over his entire career has been a strong pass rush, which the Chargers do possess. But I don't think it's enough. I think Tampa Bay rolls. I'm going to go with the over here just because 43 seems kind of low to me. I'm going to go with like a 28-20 victory for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the over on that one too, Reuter. I think Tampa Bay alone could hang a fucking 40 possibly on this team. And yeah, first of all, Tyrod is still out with a punctured lung. the doctor.
Thanks, Doc.
I was as sure as I know anything that Joe had a punctured lung joke lined up, so I was going to let him have it, but I'll let Bryce take it.
All right, my fault, Joe. If I ran the parade there, you can still say it though. I'm still going to laugh like hysterically. Plus, on top of that, the Chargers' offensive line is like they're missing Bulaga and Trey Turner are both going to be out. Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay's defense has been really good this year. And yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout, honestly. Rookie quarterback, I think they're going to just feast on him. As good as Hubbard has looked so far these first 2 games, back-to-back 300-yard performances, I think they kind of just shut that shit down. I think Tampa covers. Give me a score of 30. Let's go 38-13.
Wow, 38, huh?
Yeah.
So I look at this, and I like what you guys say, and then I look at the injury report for this, and I'm going to name some names of guys that are probably not going to play. Probably some of them have already been ruled out, but did not participate as late as Thursday. Leonard Fournette has been ruled out. Chris Godwin, I think, has been ruled out. Scotty Miller did not practice on Thursday, and you laugh at that, but Scotty Miller and Tom Brady always finds those Scotty Miller type receivers, and they do well. Jason Pierre-Paul also did not participate.
I'm sorry, is Scotty Miller white?
Yes.
All right.
Did you read between the lines there, Bryce, on what Tom Brady tends to find?
Yeah.
Those little 5'9" white receivers.
Yep. Edelman, Amendola, Welker, Hogan. Yeah, Scotty Miller. So he's looking not to play. I still think Tampa Bay wins this game. I still think they're the better team. The players not playing. I'm nervous about this. The over/under. I think that's why it's kind of low. It's at 43 right now, when everybody's kind of scoring buku points. Chargers are a weird team. They're one of my weirdest teams, I think, in the first quarter of the season. they look offensively. They took Kansas City. They almost beat Kansas City. That's been the Kansas